We are
Hi, Megan.
live on
How are you?
LinkedIn. Hey everyone, Megan Wessel's here with Powerful Partners and my power partner for the month, Scott Davis. He is a digital marketing strategist with a local IQ. And this guy he's been helping businesses market themselves for 23 years, all the way from the Yellow Pages to Google. So he's got so much knowledge, and I love the 3 points that we're going to be talking about today are so unique. One being how to gain clients without putting yourself on camera. So for you entrepreneurs out there who don't like to look at yourself on camera, you don't like taking selfies, you're going to want to hear what Scott has to say about that. How to effectively market your business through all the different stages of the business cycle. We'll go into a little bit more detail about that and what that actually means. And then, of course, effective Facebook ad strategies. So Scott is, what did you call, you guys are a Facebook ad promoter?
Facebook Blueprint Partner.
Okay, that's right. So they have a lot of knowledge about this. And Scott, go into a little bit more detail about your background in marketing and what you've been doing through this 23 years.
Sure. Thank you, Megan. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much. A little background about myself. I joined the Marine Corps to pay for college and out of high school. Went to Lincoln Park High School in the city and was in for 4 years, got out, and then got my marketing degree from University of Illinois at Chicago. And my first job out of college was selling print Yellow Pages. Used to be about that thick. And unfortunately, because of Google, they're about that thick now. Wonderful experience, wonderful people. So I started there pre-Google when Google was still on Stanford servers, which was November of '98. And long time ago, right? In internet years, kind of like dog years.
Yeah.
It's like triple the amount of time with internet years. Anyway, long story short, started selling full tilt digital media back in '06. And love my job and love the ability and the power that's available to effectively market your business, and reach new channels. So again, I'm thrilled to be here and happy to help out anyone that has any troubles or issues or just overall questions about how to better themselves online and their presence.
Yeah, and we connected originally. Was it through LinkedIn?
I believe it was.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the power of LinkedIn. And I know that, for you, you've actually been a part of my forum. You've been one of the experts that we brought into the forum on the topic of digital marketing. And what your presentation was in the behind the mind of Google or something like that.
Yeah, inside the mind of Google. So just how they think, and it obviously changes on a daily, sometimes not daily, but it changes often. So yeah, just inside the mind of Google and just what they like and what they don't like, what they look for.
Yeah, and it was so helpful.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, so many things I learned about that I like, little details that I had no idea. And you just told me the other day that Google likes older websites, which I had no idea.
Well, that's part of your domain authority. They like that you had the foresight to get a website in 1996. Well, there's not too many people that had one back then, but maybe the mid 2000s. If you had the foresight to get a domain back then, and somebody else got one 3 years ago, they give you a little bit of a preference because your foresight and you had your domain longer, right? Because you can't make up time. So They do appreciate that and reward you for that.
So interesting. Just like what do we say, your credit score, very similar.
Right, exactly. Yeah, kind of similar.
Yeah. All right. So let's dig in a little bit. First, I want to remind everybody that we have a power hour coming up next week, same time, Thursday, 12:30 for an entire hour. I will put the link below here. Essentially, you sign up through Eventbrite. It's free to attend. We only have room for 6 people. So if you are an entrepreneur, business owner, and you have some questions around your digital marketing strategy, come join. We are going to mastermind your business challenges. So Scott and I will both be there to help talk you through what those challenges are regarding your digital marketing. So we talked about how you gain clients without having to put yourself on camera. So I know a lot of my clients are women entrepreneurs, and a lot of them tell me they hate seeing themselves on camera. So you don't want to use social media as your strategy? I mean, everybody should have a presence on social media, but you still need a way to generate leads. So what are those ways that to generate leads without having to go all in on social media?
Well, first and foremost, video is very important. If someone wants to see what you're all about, your brand, your culture of your company, and believe it or not, there's a lot of things that go on the back end as far as someone's research stage when they're deciding to even reach out to you and they're looking to see if you have videos. So again, videos are important, and you don't necessarily have to have your face on camera, just your brand on camera. So that's really important because Google, as we know, bought YouTube in 2005, and they saw value in this, right? So YouTube and just videos are super important. The picture is worth 1,000 words. So video is 1,000,000 words. Making that up, but I'm assuming it's more than 1,000 words. So video is very important. But I guess the key thing here is having a real solid foundation, a place to start, which is your website. It's got to look good on my phone. It's got to load fast. I got to find what I'm looking for. It can't be the UX, we say that a lot, user experience.
Yep.
It's got to be really solid. And I'm sure you've been in a situation where you're looking someone up on your phone and it takes too long to load, and then you just give up. You're like, you know what, I'm going to go to somewhere else. Unfortunately, that happens all the time.
A text message comes in and, then you get distracted and yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So it's got to look good on your phone, and it's got to load fast on your phone. And you've got to be answering, as many questions as you possibly can for that end user about your business and why they should even call you. Not necessarily buy from you, but just to get them to that engaging part, meaning they looked you over, they looked at your reviews, and there's multiple ways to be able to have someone find you. It could be Google Ads on the top of the page. It could be SEO, which means search engine optimization, which is the area below the ads. And these aren't exact numbers, but usually about half click on the ads, and the other half I don't want to click on the ads. I'm going to scroll down and click on the organic section.
Yeah.
So in a perfect world, you want to try and capture both, audiences. And it's a building process for both. But if you can master those two areas, on the SERP is what we call it, search engine results page, then you're going to be there. You got to have solid reviews too on your map listing. Make sure your map listing is clean. Make sure it's robust, has as much information as possible. Again, we're answering questions that somebody has in their mind before they even reach out to you. Have all those things covered, and it's only going to lead to success, down the road.
Yeah, I remember that was something we talked about when you did your session for the forum. Was several of them got set up in Google Maps, like right there during the session with you, which was awesome.
Yeah, so super important to get control of that, because sometimes you don't have control of it, you don't realize it.
Yeah.
Very important piece of real estate, especially hyper local.
Yeah,
because people want to buy local or seemingly local. So got to make sure that you're on the map.
So cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. As far as the different stages of the buying cycle, can you talk a little bit about that and what that means for a business owner, and the marketing, making sure they're in front of the buyer during all those stages?
Sure. Google used to call this ZMOT. There's a lot of acronyms here, so I will explain what those mean. ZMOT is the zero moment of truth. And I believe they've changed it to micro moments. So there's a bunch of micro moments that are occurring all days and times, all hours of the day. So somebody might start on Facebook and say, hey, I'm looking for a good dentist in the Lakeview area of Chicago or Gold Coast area. And you'll get some responses from that. Then lots of times they don't call that person direct, or that dentist direct rather. They're going to check their reviews out. They're going to go to their website and do all kinds of pre-qualifications before they even make that phone call to say, these guys are right. They're a corner of Belmont and Ashland, close to my house, close to my office. I can take my kids there. The reviews are good on Google. They're good on Facebook. It all depends. And, the average marketer these days realizes they don't always do it, that you have to represent yourself in about I'm trying to look at the exact number here, 7.2 marketing methods to promote themselves. Some people are just Google, which is okay. But, 85% of people are actually on Facebook and using it. So, you got to be on there. You got to have a presence there. And the average person has engaged with 4 social media platforms. So you got to be on as many of those as you possibly can. So it depends on the person, their interests, but you got to make sure you're covering yourselves across the board, Google, Yahoo, Bing, Facebook, Instagram, your map listings, and lots of research being done before they even call you. So you just got to make sure that you need to represent your business in all possible places.
So
and provide a good user experience.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, as an entrepreneur who has a team of virtual assistants, to be on all those platforms, that kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety to know that I would have to manage all those platforms. But that's why someone would come to you, right? Because your company literally helps manage those platforms by tracking the the engagement on those platforms.
Yeah, great point and great question. That's a lot of work. I mean, you didn't start your business to be, if you're a restaurant or a dentist, you didn't start that business to be a marketer. You started to be a contractor or a pizza place or, a med spa, dentist, whatever it is. So that's a lot of work to do in addition to running your business. And if you're not an expert on that and trained on the latest, technologies and things that, Google likes, Facebook likes, you're spending a lot of time kind of spinning your wheels and quite possibly wasting your money. My firm, Local IQ, uses a unique software that's able to track every lead source into your business in our dashboard. So one thing we've always heard is you never want to guess if your advertising worked. So my firm, Local IQ, is able to eliminate the guesswork and then prove to you that it worked, right in front of you. And it turns into a CRM. And again, key thing is it tracks all these things. And we're one firm that can handle anything you can possibly need or want or think of to promote your business online. You name anything and my firm can handle that, except for MySpace. I have to throw that out there. I love making jokes, but anyway. So yeah, that's a lot to do. We're able to do all of that for you and then report results to you and let you know what worked and let you know what didn't work and identify opportunities. And the other thing we do is, like I said, track the leads, but we record the calls too. And the good thing about that is you'll know that, Sally Smith called, and which is great, but you'll know what she called about. So this it allows you to better understand your audience better. What are they calling about? What do they ask about? Maybe they called and didn't do anything. And then that's really good feedback too, as the business owner, because it's not just advertising. We're going to be able to help the culture of your business. I can't tell you how many times, my clients have had answering services that weren't doing their job. And the client didn't know that unless it was from my phone call tracking, just my tracking in general. And they've actually fired some of their answering services because they were doing a poor job and of only capturing the lead information. So it goes way beyond just, advertising. It goes to who called and when, were they business, tracking lifetime value. So there's all kinds of things that, the end user doesn't know about that we can prove and show them and allowing them still to run their business.
Yeah, and what they ask about is so key. One, because I know I'm learning this right now, because you can use that in your marketing. You can answer questions in your marketing. And so the people that have those questions in their mind will be like, oh,
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Right.
And you could also educate them. You could put something on your website to educate them and answer those questions that they might have.
And, unfortunately, when someone might be having a bad day and you can hear it in their voice when they're answering a call from a lead. And I got to go back to my Yellow Page days, which I think is pretty fascinating. There was an inside sales team, and I started there pre-Google, and I noticed there was mirrors on all the desks. And I asked my manager at the time, like, why is there mirrors on the desks? I couldn't put two and two together. And she said, it's because we want you to smile every time you make a phone call. Like, oh, well, why? I still didn't get it. Because I was fresh out of college. I'm like, still don't get it. Because if you smile, you're going to have a better attitude and your voice and your demeanor is going to be that much better. Because how many reviews have you seen on Google or Yelp or Facebook where the person that answered the phone was having a bad day and they didn't treat that lead properly, and then they had, that prospect leaves a bad review about their experience about just making a phone call to them. So my program is able to solve that and help from an internal management standpoint too, and a training standpoint. Not that everybody needs this, but it's a nice, helpful add-on that is part of the plan as well.
Yeah.
We're able to help your staff.
I mean, getting the clients in is one step, but the client experience is a whole nother important step. And that's so cool that you guys track that, or you can give some data on that too.
Because usually the bad reviews come after they're already a client or they've engaged with them. So that's a really important piece there.
Yeah.
Because if you're a doctor and you have one bad review, that could lead to, I'm trying to think, one bad review if you're a doctor or a medical office could cost you 7 new potential patients in the future. Wow. So gotta make sure you have a good presence.
Yeah. Wow, so interesting. All right, and let's talk a little bit about Facebook ads then. You guys are the Blue Book partner.
Blueprint.
Sorry, Blueprint partner. Okay. What does that mean exactly, and why? Like, how are Facebook ads? What's the power behind Facebook ads? Let me ask you that. Like, what are some of the results you've seen?
Facebook, when you signed up for that, you basically told them a lot about yourself. And a lot of folks say that data is more valuable than oil. And it is, it's important, right? I just need to understand who you are, your persona, what you like, what you don't like. And we use that data to market your business effectively. Because if you're a dog lover, I'm going to show you ads for, pet food or, whatever it is. So the power of that is reaching the right audience, their age group. I mean, you can really, and they change their audience targeting, on occasion, which is okay. But you're able to target and really pinpoint your audience, 25 to 35-year-olds within a 2-mile radius of the Gold Coast that like dogs. And, there's this amazing, technology and reporting that goes on there. And we use it, we're different than most other firms is we have a technology, it's called smart optimization technology that allows us to optimize around different, tactics and, ways to make your phone ring and get, email leads coming in, direct from Facebook. And super important to have that mastered. So this does not mean posting and, scheduled posts about your business on a weekly basis. That part's, we also do that too. But ads is different than posting because posting is important. People actually look for that. If I get to someone's Facebook page and I'm considering doing business with them, and I'm not, maybe you'll agree with me. If I see someone hasn't been active on that in a year, I just assume that I know they're around, but that's really important for someone to see that activity. Posting helpful information about that industry, right? That's going to be helpful to me. When the whole pandemic hit, I couldn't tell you how many case studies there were on don't be silent with your social media, or especially your marketing, but your social media during this pandemic. People want to know that you're still around. You're able to help them. Make me feel safe about going into your place. You're following protocols and precautions to make sure that nobody gets sick or minimize that. It's important, and it all starts with your Facebook page, having it filled out completely, any kind of contact information I have, it has to be on there. Make sure there's no missing information, and just accuracy is super important. Then I'll just put that page of yours, to the right audience and reach them that way. But it's all about the technology and our team, Facebook Blueprint trained team.
What are some of the results you've seen with your clients in Facebook ads?
I have an RV dealer that is killing it on Facebook, and at least 130 leads in the last month and a half. I think it's been 2 months now. So he's really, really killing it. And I'm shocked about how well that's working. So we'll track calls from that, form submits. Any way somebody finds your ad on Facebook and interacts with it, we'll be able to track in real time. So if somebody calls in 2 minutes ago, while we're talking right now, I guarantee you my clients on Facebook with their ads have gotten leads since we've been talking right now. Wow. So it's nice to know that. Yeah. So it's hard to put a finger on that because it depends on the industry and depends on the need and the seasonality. So my RV dealer is getting better as we go because it's getting nicer here in Chicago because there was no RV show this year. There's no auto show. So he wanted to expand his marketing a bit to offset that audience he wasn't able to reach because of the pandemic.
Wow. So interesting. Yeah. I imagine there's a lot of people going to be buying RVs this year. Get me out of here.
Oh, yeah. People are spending a lot more on themselves and their homes,
Mhm.
and not going on vacation as much within the last year. So they've got extra money to spend on themselves or their home or RVs, or cars.
True. Very cool. Thank you again, Scott. This was such helpful information, especially for
Sure.
business owners. Anything else you want to share before we go?
Oh, let me think here. Just keep, I mean, you need a firm, or someone, in your office, or just a company like ours, to keep up with the ever-growing changing trends, and just to guide you in the right path of what's coming up. There actually is a new core algorithm update about page quality coming out in May with Google. They usually don't give you a heads up when they change their algorithms, and they usually do that about 450 times per year. So there's a big core algorithm update coming, and that's more of an SEO thing, coming out in May, which is nice that they're giving us the heads up. Got to follow their rules, and follow them basically to the T, and you will reap rewards. So that's coming out in May about page quality, I think it is.
So interesting. Well, I'm glad to talk to you right now about SEO then.
Yeah, it's quite timely. So
yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Scott, and for all of
thanks
you
for having me.
who are listening. Reminder that if you have some questions for Scott or I, jump on our Power Hour next week. I will put the link below, and we'll answer your questions, give you some new feedback for your business, and see you on your way. Thank you again, Scott. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Megan.